Hello everyone, Chicken Man back again with my friend Delta Glider. Say hello.
I say hello.
That's perfect. And so today we're going to be doing one of your favorite things. What could that
What?
be?
Could it be one of my favorite things too?
Probably.
Glitch video!
Yes. Alright, we're doing a glitch video for you guys. It's probably going to be the last 1.2.5 glitch video. And that's because this Friday, June 22nd, 1.3 comes out.
Woo!
And 1.3 has about a million features being added, a million different changes, a million different glitches that are going to be patched, and a million new glitches. So we'll be having a lot of time with that one. We're
Yes.
having a lot of time. I can't talk today. Let's get to the glitches.
Yes.
So
Video.
let's go. Let's go do some glitches.
I love glitches.
It has been a long time. It has been like 2 or 3 weeks since we've done one of these.
Yeah, we've been busy with stuff.
Oh
I hate
yes.
being busy with stuff.
Okay, so let's get to the very first one, and this one involves ice and torches. So as you see here, we have 3 blocks. There's actually 4 blocks that you can do this to, being the note block, the furnace, the dispenser, and the crafting table. And so I'll put that one down. If you go up to any of these blocks and hold nothing in your hand and right-click, you open the block. Or actually open the, I guess, chest, dispenser, or crafting table. And if you're on a note block, it makes a cool sound and a little note appears. But when you open these blocks, you can't place on them. If I had dirt in my hand and I tried to place it on the block, it would just open the furnace. It wouldn't actually place it. So I wouldn't have a dirt block here. I'd have to place it right here, which would cause it to appear in that block. So now we go over to this one, and I'm going to show you how to get a torch to stick to a crafting table, or any of these actually. See, as you notice right here, because you can't place on them, you would think, oh, you can't put a torch on a crafting table. When in reality, it's just like any other block. You can put a torch on dirt and on all of these. And by taking ice, you can't place torches on ice. If you put a torch on the side of ice, it'll go to the nearest torchable block. By taking ice and putting it down here, and you put the torch on the ice, it'll throw the torch, or kind of default it, to the block. What are you doing?
Continue.
Okay, so you can put all of these blocks, you can put ice on them, and then put torches on all of these. Now, I don't know why you would put a torch on any of these, but you can. By using a simple ice default trick. I believe it's called defaulting when it defaults to the block. And so yeah, thought that was pretty cool. It's not really a glitch. It's more of a way to use some useful game mechanics. To be absolutely not useful, I don't know why you would do this, but hey, why not? So yeah, let's move on to the very next one. The very next one being the one that comes after that one. This one, actually, if you saw our episode 6 it was? Yes,
Yeah, it
episode
was
6 of our Super Hostel map, you saw me and him stuck in a hole filled with spiders.
I hated that.
I hated that too, and if you haven't seen that, it's in the upper right now. But I was dropping sand just a lot, trying to get down to him and get out of the hole and stuff, and what the heck? Getting stuck in more holes. So, I was dropping sand a lot, and it kept falling, and it kept falling, and it kept falling in the same place, and it would never build on top of itself. And that's because it was hitting cobwebs. And the trick with cobwebs is if you put any entity in a cobweb, like these blocks or things that I drop, they'll kind of float, but they'll also fall down very slowly. Same thing with a person. If you put a person in, they slowly fall down, and they kind of get stuck. Well, falling sand and falling gravel are both entities. So if you put them into cobwebs by breaking this torch, they get stuck and create a very glitchy texture too, because they all want to be on the outside. And so as they fall, eventually they reach the block below them, and that will break them off because they can't occupy the space below this or the one that they're in. And they'll break off into little entities, and he will pick them up, and you look extremely funny.
I'm censored.
You are censored, and now it's gone. And so you see, as you saw right there, the block actually fell out, and he now has a bunch of sand. Nice. Ooh, 7 that time. And so now we've got 7 gravel here, 7 or 8. And if you break them off, you'll notice by this little hole that I've made, as they fall in, they get stuck, of course, but as they fall through, eventually one of them will make it all the way down there and past the cobweb. Let's wait for this. It's like watching paint dry. Or gravel fall. Not sure. Same thing. Again, with the glitchy textures, I believe it's because they all want to be on the outside at the same time.
It shoots arrows back at you.
That's very strange.
Pop-up doesn't know that.
Oh wow, they all
Freaky.
broke off.
No, check
Well,
this out. Freaky, glitchy, dude.
it's because it's an entity as it's falling, see?
Yeah, but check this out.
It's because it can't take damage, but it's still an entity. So another glitch you found explained. But as you'll notice, it didn't fall through that time. Usually it does, and I've done it before. But as it falls through and it reaches a block below it, it'll break off and get stuck in the cobweb, and you can pick it back up. At one point, and I think there may be a link to that point in the description of that video, I fall into a cobweb, and there's a ton of this sand and gravel falling into it. It's actually mostly sand. And I get to the bottom, it all breaks off, and I get in my inventory. Then I get killed by spiders. But yeah, that was a very strange one that we discovered while playing that map. If you want to play that map, it's an amazing map. Go check the description of the Super Hostile Map videos. It is so cool. So yeah, let's move on to this one. This one's actually pretty strange. I don't know how to explain why this happens or how this happens, but it does. And it's actually been happening for several versions now of Minecraft. If you'll notice right here, there's a little gray line right there, and a little gray line right there. And those are the edges of this wool block. If I fire my arrow toward the bottom of those edges, it'll default to the top of this wool block. You fire this into any block like this glowstone, any block towards the bottom, towards any part of it, it'll throw itself to the top. No matter where you shoot it, it has to be touching the top texture of the block you shot it into. And even sometimes if you shoot it into a block, but at the top of the block, it'll go through the block above it and default to the top texture of that one. I've seen this in several other people's videos, but no one has quite been able to explain this. I think it's just a glitch in the code of how arrows interact with blocks, but it's still a strange glitch, and it's been put in our video. So yeah, this one was actually sent in by a user. His name is Joey Parrish, I believe, and his YouTube channel is in the upper right now. This one's been sent in by a ton of people, but I had to give credit to the very first person who sent it in, and that was him. And what happens here, as probably most of you know, is you break off this little piece of dirt, and the cart breaks off, and the minecart chest falls. And you put a block here, and then put a... let me get a redstone torch. There it is. Put a redstone torch next to the piston to activate it. Break it off again. It can't be a sticky piston, otherwise it pulls that block back with it. And then you go through and you break all of this. And then you have a minecart chest in a chest. Well, if you surround this by blocks and you look for on one of these sides, you'll not be able to see the minecart. There it is. You go ahead and surround this surround this minecart chest in blocks. You can go to this side where it is completely invisible and you can't touch it. It's not there or anything. You right click on this block, you can open it and actually store things in it. It becomes basically an invisible chest. Now, granted, you can't make big chests or whatever large chests out of them, but it does become an invisible chest. So as people walk into your house and they see no chests and they're trying to grief you or something, they just walk in, see nothing, and leave. When in reality, your entire wall is filled with chests.
Or they get mad at you for not having anything and blow up your house.
Only you do that. Speaking of which, what are you building?
My gravel tower.
Okay. So let's move on to this one. This one's weird. I need a sand and a gravel.
I have the gravel.
I got one. Okay. So as you'll see right here, this one was actually sent in by, I believe, yeah, I can't pronounce this. What? That works, but I can't pronounce his name.
LOL20X.
It's low 20 wins. I don't know how to pronounce it.
No, you gotta pronounce the X at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. So, I'm terribly sorry. I cannot pronounce your name. I don't know if it's pronounceable, but his channel's in the upper right now, and he said that if you take vines like this and you put gravel or sand on the vines, it'll just begin to float, creating this very strange illusion of floating gravel or sand. And I went through and tested it, and every time you place it on vines, it just floats there. Well, not every time. If you have vines like this, and you say you've got... let's break off a couple of these. Let's say you've got 2 vines floating like this, and you place gravel on this bottom vine. It's just going to fall because it replaces the vine and there's nothing to hold it up. But if we go through and we replace... let's break off this side. You go through and you've got floating vines like this, and you've got a vine below the vine that you replace with the gravel. It'll default to the bottom of the gravel, even though it replaces this vine. It stays there and supports the gravel so it doesn't fall down. and you can walk on it and stuff like that. I think you can actually break off the vines above it, and it creates basically a floating gravel or floating sand. And this is really cool for illusions. It's actually kind of helpful if you're trying to cut down a tree in a swamp and it's too big. You just place gravel on the vines, or anything on the vines really, and you can climb to the top of the tree and cut it all down. Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you go ahead and break these vines, it does fall down. And this does, of course, work with sand, but I thought that one was kind of cool. This one you liked, right, Dr. Glider?
The one with the ice?
Yes, the one with the ice.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Alright, so let me replace that one. There we go. So what we have here is a bunch of things that are slightly less than 1 block on some part of them. So notice right here, these are all slightly less than 1 block tall. And underneath these, we have ice. And of course, this one was sent in by someone. His name is Kick a Koala. Please don't kick koalas. That's terrible animal abuse. But he said that if you take half steps, because they're less than 1 block tall and you put them on ice, you can feel the effect of the ice through the half step, which you can. But if you go through and test this with anything less than 1 block, it works.
So we went ahead and threw in pistons without the actual piston.
Yeah, this is one of our glitches from a different video.
Stair things.
You have stairs and you put them two blocks like this. You can walk on the inside and feel the ice.
Ender portal doodlebobs.
End portal frame. I don't know what the name of this is, but you can feel the ice through that too.
Magical floating Bible.
Yes, the magical floating Bible of Minecraft.
The Bible of Minecraft.
It's the Bible.
The Bible.
And of course, cake, which is obviously less than 1 block. And
So
you can walk
if you
on
have a
all of
moment,
these.
I'd like to tell you about my Lord and Savior Minecraft.
Yes, but on all of these are all less than 1 block except for the top of the stair, and you can feel the effect of ice. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's move on to this one. This one actually was strange, wasn't it? This one was very strange. So you've seen this one, and I'll explain this one in just a second because I have some stuff to talk about. But if you have a switch, redstone, and this block here, and a regular sticky piston, and any block, and you turn it on, the block completely disappears. It's still there, and you still get that weird block from the last video, I think it was, or the video before last, but it just completely disappears. It's graphically invisible. You can't see it. You go into it, and you glitch around, and it throws you backward and stuff. It's really strange. And what's happening here is, let me see if I can pick this up and put it back. Every time the piston pushes forward, it pushes this block here, which breaks the circuit. As you see, it doesn't work. But because it's on, if I put this here, it'll push the piston forward. If I put it here, it'll break the circuit and retract the piston. But every time it does that, it fixes the circuit, which makes it oscillate like this at just the right speed to make the block not graphically appear on anyone's client. So yeah, that's a really weird one. And then, if you've seen my 1.2.5 glitch video, episode 1, I believe, we've got this one, where if you have a block and it's oscillating off of one of these repeater oscillator things, eventually, as you saw right there, the brown will change to blue, and it slightly changes the ID of the block. This works with logs or any color of wool. This is just the most obvious. And it'll change it for just a second between up and down. Now you can't go through and you can't pick block it, you can't use another piston to push it out, so there's no chance of actually getting the blue block out of it. But when you do pick block, as you saw, you get this weird, unlabeled something. As you see there, it went away when I right click. Let me get it again. There we go. It's unlabeled, it doesn't have any name, the ID of it is actually 36, and the most common idea for what it was is end portal. You pick block this, you get the same thing, unnamed, looks just like it. It's actually not end portal, sorry for all of those who thought it was. If you open TMI, it looks just like it, but it's a completely different ID. The one from the piston is block 36, and cannot be placed and just disappeared. The end portal, I actually don't know the ID, can be placed, and don't touch that, you'll go to the end. But, yeah, it looks the same. The one that comes from the piston, let me get this again, is block 36. It's actually called block moved by piston. It's what the game uses to replace the piston arm and the block it's moving between all the way out and all the way in.
So it doesn't actually form an entity when it's moving it.
It's not. And if we use this real quick, let me get out some world edit. If we take, there it is. If we take this and this, and we set it to block 36, you'll see we have an invisible block that we can actually interact with. I don't know if we can place on it. Yeah, we can't place on it, that makes it disappear. But if you click on it, you can see that it breaks off with stone, makes the sound of stone. And if we actually take, let me get some water.
Yeah, I got some water right here floating.
Alright, let me set this whole area to block 36. I have a whole area of block 36. If we place water, you'll notice it goes over the water.
Wow.
It doesn't actually like let the water move into that space. It completely, let me see, breaks it. And
Wait, get down in here, look. Oops.
yeah, it allows you to see through it and everything, allows you to breathe. It's literally a solid block that's phased and invisible.
That's...
Which can be useful, I guess. You notice there it goes over that one, which is still 36, and into this one, which is not.
The solid
yeah.
phase block, the physics, they don't work.
They don't, but that is a weird block. I thought that was pretty useful. If you guys have World Edit or something, some way to get block 36 actually physically out there because you can't place it, you can use it for all kinds of cool physics. You can use it to get in the way of water and make all kinds of cool stuff. I actually have been using it on my server, which we'll talk about at the end of the video. So let's move on to this one. This is the last piston-related one, I think.
This one, okay, this one needs a name. We can't find a name for it. It needs some really awesome name, because what it does is it destroys everything.
Yeah. So as you'll see here, if you've seen our other videos, you know that an activated sticky piston, the arm can be broken off in creative mode, and the actual piston will stay there.
And then you can place something like bedrock.
If you place bedrock in this block and you press like just this setup that I have here, and you press this button, the piston will reactivate and completely destroy the bedrock. Now you can't use this to destroy bedrock, say in single player, because you have to break off the arm and then put the bedrock there. You can't just like push it up against it. But this will literally destroy any block you put there. It doesn't drop an item, nothing happens, it just destroys it. And so yeah.
Actually, let's have you guys name this thing, the Decimator.
Yes, the Decimator, that's a good one.
Shoot us your name suggestions in the comments.
That's probably a good idea. If you guys throw out some name suggestions in the comments in our next video, probably next glitch video, I will post the winning name or the best name. Probably like it to vote for it, dislike it to not vote for it. But yeah, post your names in the comment for the block destroyer of death. I don't know, it literally destroys anything. I've never seen anything like this. It breaks bedrock and doesn't drop an item. Breaks anything.
It's gone.
It's strange, so let's move on. This one is really annoying. I was actually found this one in single player, and apparently other people have found it too. So let me go to survival mode. If I take this ender pearl, or whatever, end pearl, and I throw it, it teleports me there and takes off 2.5 hearts of damage. Well, if I have a minecart, or in this case a boat, and I throw the end pearl, and I get in the boat, let's wait for that to land, I take 2.5 hearts of damage, but the boat doesn't let me teleport, and it kind of glitches in the wall in this case. But you can do this with minecarts too. Let me go over here to this minecart, which we will use in a glitch later. I throw it, and I get in, and I take the damage, but I don't actually get out of the minecart and teleport. Which is really annoying, because I was doing this, I was trying to teleport my minecart, and it wouldn't let me go. And
now
it killed me.
This next one we have here, this is
pretty basic.
Yeah, you'll see that doors, these fence gates, they'll connect between nether purple fence and regular wood fence, but purple fence doesn't like white fence. Oh my god, we have racist fence. This is not good.
This is not good at all. If you have nether fence and you have normal fence, they will both connect to fence gates just fine, as you see here. But they don't connect to each other at all. They will never connect to each other, which is enough space for someone to walk through, which means if you're trying to contain animals and you don't have enough fence, you can't use nether fence unless you put a fence gate. And if you have the supplies for a fence gate, you can probably make another fence. So yeah, that's really annoying if you're trying to build a little thing and you only have nether fence left. So let's move on. This one's pretty simple actually. Here, open this chest. Let me see. If I open this chest, oops, and you've got all of these simple items. If I open my creative inventory, these items are all there. You see we've got the iron sword and the diamond chest plate, things like that, they're all there. Now let me scroll all the way back up. Now Delta Glider, drop those at my feet.
Alright.
If you have these items and you drop them into someone who's open in their creative menu, let's see, come on. There we go. So if you notice, once your hotbar is filled up, it'll actually default to your creative menu, giving you a duplicate in your menu, actually, in this case. We've got the gold sword, God, I cannot talk. The golden sword there, and as you saw there, the golden sword was up there for a second. Once you fix it, it'll actually, like, once you scroll, it'll fix it. But, this can be pretty useful, although I'm not sure if it's, like, gonna stay there. If you have enchanted items, and you throw them at someone like this, it'll appear in their inventory, and you can, actually regain enchanted items infinitely. You can keep pulling them out. Every time I scroll, it does, fix it, and they go away. But you can keep pulling enchanted items out, and that's pretty useful if you need to make a bunch of enchanted swords and give them to people. Now, I do think if you close your inventory and reopen it, it does reset it just like scrolling, so you won't be able to do that. But it is pretty helpful, I guess. This one is weird, and we need to make it nighttime. Let me make it nighttime. There we go. So as you see, we have a bed, which already has a graphical glitch because of the graphical error, because of the blocks above it, stuck in this little one block space. Now, if you were to be where that bed is, you would be suffocating, and it would push you out. Well, we're going to put you where that bed is. Here, go ahead and get in this bed.
Alright.
Now, on our screen, nothing happens. He just lays in the bed. No, he doesn't die, doesn't suffocate. He just occupies that space. You fell out of the bed and completely out of the world that time. Good job. So let me go ahead. Oh, it reset your area. So let me make it nighttime again. And I'll show you what happens when I get in the bed. On my screen, it pushes you out of the bed and you actually fall alongside the bed. It doesn't matter where you are, you always fall alongside the same side, I believe. It's usually the left side, as you saw. I fell out, and it'll actually just push you out of the bed. Now, on everybody else's screen, and I guess on server side screens like that, it's not going to show you falling out. It's just client side, but it is still weird. It actually scared me. I was playing single player, and I was testing this one before we actually moved it to the server here. And I got in the bed and fell out of the world, and I thought I had lost everything because I was just going to test it on my normal world. And I didn't, luckily. You don't fall out of your bed. It doesn't matter the orientation. You'll always fall out if you have this block here. But you don't actually fall, which is nice. Let's move on to this one. These are very strange. All of these, if you've seen our last video, I believe it was, are non-opaque blocks, and then you allow them, they allow you to open a chest underneath them. And that is because they're not solid. If I was inside of this block, it would not suffocate me. Well, if I go to regular game mode, I walk up against it, and I look right here, right below the line of the glass block, and I hold forward and shoot an end pearl. You teleport through them. And you don't take damage from them, only from the end pearl. And you go right through them. And this works on any server as far as I know, and it works on any single player map as far as I know. And if you do it with the glowstone, remember the glowstone x-ray glitch? If you do it with the glowstone, you still x-ray, which is kind of nice. You are stuck in the 2 blocks that you occupy. But this one allows you to go through pretty much anything. You're trying to go through leaves. It'll throw you through leaves because they're still non-opaque. And that time I died because I had killed myself too many times with the end pearl. My bad.
You killed yourself to death?
I killed myself to death. Let me make myself a god mode. There we go. I'm indestructible. And
I am inside TNT.
let me see here. There we go. So as you see here, if we go to the TNT, it does the same x-ray glitch as the glowstone, as you saw. And yeah, it's pretty useful, I guess, if you have ice you want to get through. I don't know why you would want to get through ice. But if you have stairs like this, because they're not opaque blocks, they're not full blocks, and you come up to the backside, you can barely tell, although on these there's a lighting glitch, you can barely tell it's a different block. So on your wall, you can go ahead and make little secret doors and just use end pearls to get through them. Which is fairly nice. I think going back the other direction, it only lets you in this half, and then you have to do it again for you to get through, which means twice as much damage, which is a lot of hearts in single player, or on most servers. And so yeah, let's move on to this one. This one is fun. This was actually made on the server. This one and all of these minecart ones here were made on the server by a guy who actually plays on my server. His name is N6Nick, or N6Nix, I can't say your name, I'm sorry. His name is in the upper right, I believe his channel is in the upper right. And so yeah, we're going to go ahead and test this. If you have powered rail and you do this little turn right here and you go straight up, you'll be going fast enough, I think it is. That's the reason why, to go through those blocks. So let me press this button, and you'll watch Delta Glider goes through those blocks. Now, do you take damage? Does that happen?
Just happened to me. Let me change the game mode. Go ahead, let's try that.
So let me throw you through here. Nope, no damage. So what happens is, I believe because this is putting you through, and it's not like the full face of the block, it'll actually put you through the block. As you see, the minecart is actually partially through the block right there. I'm not sure why this happens. Here, get out real quick.
Again.
Okay. So yeah, it just throws him through the block. If I stand up here, it doesn't affect him at all. He never touches me. There's no reason it should be doing this that I know of. And if I put bedrock, it'll work. Same thing. No damage taken, apparently. And I can't come up with a reason why this should happen, or why this does happen. You see, the minecart by itself will go through. Yet if I were to put a block, say, here, it stops the minecart. Or it doesn't stop the minecart, but it stops the minecart if he's in it. Here, go ahead and ride the minecart again.
Yeah.
If I send him through, it'll go through these blocks, but it won't... Oh, wow. Usually it doesn't go through this. I've had breaks on my minecart tracks that are like this. And so, yeah, it's very strange. This one, they're actually in the way, so I wouldn't know why it would go through here. I can see glitching through this one. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Sent in by our little friend N6 Nick, I believe is your name. Or just Nick, that works too. And he also came on here on the server and made, well, just one of these, but I used his idea for all of these.
And then I took it to the next level and built a chain of these.
A chain, okay. So if you have a minecart here and a powered rail there, or any type of rail, and you have a little turn like this, and you have any block on the other side of the turn, like, there we go. I'll put this here, and that'll default the turn, and then you can break this off and put any block you want here. And you hit this button, the minecart will get stuck in the block.
And this works for every block. Like
you can push it into non-opaque blocks, just like the piston, the glowstone, and the leaf.
Vomited tables, camouflage, I don't know what that is.
Half steps.
Super obsidian.
Bedrock, it'll push it into any block, solid blocks too. And chests, which is a new minecart chest, I guess. And so let me go get an actual chest minecart. And as you can see here, this is not the most effective way to do it, but let me break this, break the minecart, put obsidian here, and you put a minecart chest here, and then you push it in, and it's the same idea as the chest minecart. The issue is you can't usually open it from any of the sides. As you see here, you can't really open it. You kind of have to push it around, and then it just doesn't work too well, but it's still a cool way of doing that if you just want to use it from the top, which is apparently not possible. Oh well. But that's pretty cool. You can push minecarts into anything. Let's move on, because we have just a couple more, just 2 more, I think, before the end of our last 1.2.5 glitch video.
Ooh, the elevator. I love this one. I mean, elevator.
Yes, the elevator, I don't know. So this is the super fast elevator. This has been a common thing since 1.0, I think, or actually before that. If you log out and someone pushes blocks into where you are, if I were to place like dirt down there, you default to the what's above you, the closest point above you that's safe, like the closest area that's open where you won't suffocate and you won't die. So if, as you saw here, he teleported up there. What he did is, because these are non-opaque, so go ahead and get in those. If I close those on him while he's logged in, it will actually not suffocate him. And as he joins again, he teleports up to there. And so this can be used to make amazingly fast elevators. It only takes the amount of time it takes you to reconnect to a server. Or, yeah, I don't know if it works in single player.
Yeah, so if you have any of those special modded clients that have a reconnect button instead of a disconnect button, you can just shoot right up, and this makes things really easy.
Makes it really simple to get through things, and you can put these on servers, like say you want to have, oh, they need to teleport to the top of the world real quick, 200 something blocks. That way they don't have to climb ladders, they just do this, disconnect, and then poof, you're at the top. Let's move on to our final glitch. This one is weird.
This one's a client-side glitch?
It is client-side, but it also appears to be slightly server-side. So let me show you what happens. Let me take a bed here, and we've got 2 beds here. I don't know why I'm pulling beds out of here. You can have one.
Oh, thank you.
So if actually, I don't even need this. But if I come over here, and I'll show you without these beds, these like nice and pristine. If I place this bed down, and I walk up and I break the bottom half of the bed, and quickly place, like, just spam the right thing. Ah, that didn't work. Let me see. It's very hard to do this. You break it in survival mode, and then you quickly spam while you're picking it up.
Oops,
And before...
I was not in survival mode.
Oh, did I do it? I think
No.
I did it right here. I think I did. Let me try again. This is a very hard glitch. Oh, I did. Okay, so what happens is you get these little half beds. And they don't do anything. You can't sleep in them, but it does have a half bed. See, he's got one there. I can't see it. No one else on the server could see it. But on his client side, it's there. I don't interact with it at all. But he can still jump on it. And the server doesn't, like, disallow him from jumping on it. There's no cheat exception or anything like that. But it's not actually there for anyone else. And so this can be used to kind of freak out your friends, I guess. Not really too useful. Go ahead and break this, and then before it pops back up, you just spam right click. Sometimes you can get it. Yeah, it's very hard to do. It takes a lot of timing usually. Basically, you just break the bottom half, and then right after it breaks, you just spam right click. There we go. And you'll get a little half bed. And you can do this several times in a row to make a bunch of little half beds. There we go.
I have no idea what that's useful for, but there you go.
It's literally not useful. And so yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. He can't see these that I'm standing on, and you right click and they disappear. So that's pretty cool. Let's move on to our final 1.2.5 glitch. Oh man, it's kind of sad actually. I don't want to leave.
Yeah, I've liked this. I've liked this update.
So let me push you into that block correctly, and then I'll push this one into the block correctly. So as we see here, we have, let me game mode again. We have 2 minecart tracks, same length and everything, same little hills, all that stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to launch them at the same time and see what happens when we go down straight track after following these powered rail, and then this turned track, which is actually just a curve. You go along this, you'll hit it, it'll default you this way, turn you again, and then repeat, causing you to jiggle. It's very strange looking when you're in the minecart. So let's see what happens. Let me get in here. I get to ride the special one.
Oh,
Ready?
you're special.
Let's go! Yay! And so what happens is, every time you go around the turn, it speeds you up.
What
You
the?
can see here, I'm going a lot faster than him. He barely made it to the end, and I'm already halfway back. And so we go around again, you'll see it speeds me up again. Now, I'm not sure if it's actually giving me any extra power. I think I'm actually slowing down, as you see right here. Yeah, I'm slowing down because of this rail here, but it speeds you up a lot. Ow.
Now, I did figure out the math for this, as to why this is happening for the turn blocks. And this is like basic spatial geometrics. What's happening is you're traveling a greater distance in the same amount of time.
Well,
so you're
kind
increasing your velocity to go in that same distance at
Yeah.
that same time. Because
basically, each one of these turns is not a full block, yet each one of these tracks is. This turn is almost half a block. It's about point, I believe, 6.2 or whatever the number is that we got.
yeah,
But it's not a full
4.62.
block. But you're still going to travel across a full block. So you're fitting a full block into 0.62 blocks, which causes you to accelerate in comparison to something that's going the full block.
Exactly.
You're fitting a big entire area into a small little bit of track that's not as long as the whole area.
So instead of traveling 1 meter in 1 second, you're actually traveling 0.62 meters in 1 second, or in 1 meter in 0.62 seconds.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So let's get back in these. I'm actually going to ride the slow one just to show the difference.
Special one.
You get the special one. Here we go. So you see, I'm equal with him, and he just speeds away from me. Let me get rid of this one. Aw. So my track is actually broken now. But as you saw right there, he just speeds away.
It's running away.
It is running away. Oh no.
Come back to me.
But you can only place these going this direction as far as I know. You can't place them going this way, which kind of sucks because of the method of placing these. I believe you have to make a little circle. Make a little circle, and then you break this one and this one and this one, and you can get these tracks in a row. And you make another circle here, and so that way it doesn't like drag this track. If I try to go this way, and I make a little circle and I place this one, it'll default and make this weird question mark. So yeah. That's a pretty cool looking question mark.
Nice.
So now that we have this awesome glitch video done, that was our last one. I've got one thing to talk about before we leave. Actually, really two. It's really 1.5. I don't know.
The first thing is, The 500 subscriber server that we put up.
Ooh, the server.
How long ago was that? A month ago?
Almost a month ago, I think. But the
Yeah.
server has been going amazing. There's been a ton of things, not very many things that we've had to worry about. We did get our IP posted on the comments of a griefing video and had a lot of griefers join, but we did fix that. We've handled it so far. And so yeah, we've been doing some awesome stuff on there. I think very soon I'm going to be doing a video of some of the things people have built on our server because it looks awesome.
Yeah, we got some really amazing builds going on there. The hotel that was built by one of our admins and a few houses, and we have the town. Everything looks awesome. Come by, check it out, become a member.
Yes, if you haven't joined the server yet, there's a link right now in the middle of the screen to the video that I released the server in. And so go ahead, click that, go to get the IP, join the server. You can become a member by yourself, or you can donate and become a VIP, stuff like that. It's awesome. And so yeah, that's one of our things that I want to talk about. The last and final thing for this 1.2.5 glitch video is the forums. I now have a chicken forum. It's chicken.forumotion.com, spelled with a 3. The forum, there's a link in the description. And yeah, it's awesome. We're going to be posting updates, things like when the next video comes out, updates about the server, things about what's going on in the server, events, maybe even live streams, things like that. All on the forum, so go check it out, sign up, and just, yeah, go ahead and
And we
post.
also have a bunch of, biographies there. So if you wanted to know a little bit more about me and Chicken Man and some of our other users and video makers, you can kind of learn about us, about our background.
It is pretty cool. There's a little introduction section for everyone to make a little thing about themselves. And so yeah, that's all we have for you today. This is our 1.2.5 glitch video. As soon as 1.3 comes out, we will be doing a video on that one with as many glitches as we can get. But for now, goodbye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.